Coming up in this episode.
Feed up the flux capacitor with a few more. All the waste comes out the side. I will take this and just throw it on the compost heap. So that's the beauty of masticating.
Welcome, I'm Sean and I've been growing my own food since I was a teenager and I love this lifestyle. I'm currently growing my own fruit and vegetables on 2 allotments in Greater London. As I approach 50, there are many attempts to lose weight and become fitter and healthier. Outside of gardening, I love to ramble and explore the countryside, while also spending time with my 2 feral rescue cats, Amber and Topsy. The ultimate dream is for us all to live off-grid and off the land. Join me to see where the journey takes us.
Hello, welcome back. Now after the last video I did, I've had a lot of questions about juice. So let's start off with the machine. So since filming that last video, I've actually changed the machine and now I've got a FRIDJA masticating juicer. And you can put the fruit straight in the top. And in fact, let me show you, I'll make a juice now. So I'm going to start off, I need 6 carrots. So I'm just going to take the tops off. They can go on the compost bin. I also then need 2 apples. Now with apples, with the type of machine that I've got, you have to prepare them a bit by taking the stalk off. Otherwise, if you don't, it gets caught in the mechanisms. And if you were going to do juice on a regular basis, they advise to take the seeds out, because if you don't, the seeds will get crushed, and apparently a high concentration of apple seeds actually turns into cyanide, which you can then kill yourself if you collected all the seeds up and crushed them, apparently. So just to be on the safe side, I do like to spend a few more minutes taking them out. Bit of a finicky task, but it's better to be alive than dead, isn't it? And obviously, when I start producing my own apples, I can use them. We also need a sweet potato. Now in the recipe, it doesn't say whether you take the skins off, and I haven't tried it with the skins on, to be honest. I'm not in a position to experiment with food and then for it to go wrong and for it to be thrown out. So just to be on the safe side for the time being, I like to just take the skins off, and again that will go into the compost bin. The amount that I'm going to use is about 1.5. This is a fairly big sweet potato, and I'm just going to cut that front bit off there, because that's gone a bit manky and dry, just because it was quite a large sweet potato when I bought it. And this is the only thing that I'm really going to chop, because it's a bit too big to go into the juicer. And the types of juice that I go for tend to be more vegetables than actual fruits. And then we also need a bit of ground cinnamon, which I'm just going to cheat and use one of these little bits. Right, let us start. Stop the machines! It's a bit noisy, so I might have to put a voiceover on top, but let's just see. As you can see, I've got some pineapples. That's for another recipe, which I'll show you that if if you're interested in seeing that one as well. But let's start it up. So we just put all the produce in the top, and then what's amazing about this is, as it divides it, it brings out the waste on the side, which I suppose you could use in cakes or on the compost. But look how dry that is. It's amazing how dry it is when it comes out. So let's feed up the flux capacitor with a few more. Put the apples in. If they get a bit stuck, we can use the device, because in the top here there's a blade, so we need to stay away from that. And then the juice, look at that. Smell the goodness already. Just pop the carrots in. See, it's just fun to stand and watch. And what I like about this compared to the last one that I had is that all the waste comes out the side. The last one I had, the waste stayed inside, and if you forgot to, if you were trying to do a big juice, then you had to clean it halfway through. And there's a reverse button just in case some of it gets stuck. But look at that. The pineapple juice that I use is really nice. Need a few more carrots. Look at all that goodness there. So the advantage of having the waste coming out through the side is the fact that you could spend 20 minutes doing your juices for the entire day or for the next few days, rather than doing a juice and then having to clean the machine out and then doing another juice. I think this cost me about £150 from Amazon. If I can find the link, I'll put it in the description below. But you'll just see how much juice actually comes out. So we need a tiny bit of cinnamon in that as well, so I'll pop that in through the top. And then I'll show you what special bottles I've bought in order to store the juice. So I've got two types of bottles that I use to store. This is the old milk bottle. You can get two sizes, a big one and a small one, from Habitat. I think they were selling these off back in the winter, so I bought a load of them. But these ones are a bit better because I like to take juice down to the allotment garden. The top is a bit more, I have a bit more confidence with putting that lid on there than I do with that one. But let's have a look now at the juice. So let's close the fans. And here we go, stand by. Look at that goodness. And because it's not only extracting the juice, it also, you have some of the fibre because of the way that this is set up. But look at all that. I'm pretty sure you could put that into a cake, like obviously a carrot cake, and it comes with its own toothbrush to help you clean it.
fact, I might show you that as well, because I think it's quite easy to clean. But let's stick to the juice. So that is that one, and I'm going to drink this part of it now. What I've noticed about the masticating machine is that if I leave, now I will consume this within 24 hours, but you could leave it for about 2 or 3 days. But what I've noticed is it doesn't separate, whereas the last juicer that I had, you'd come back in a day and it would look like a bit like dirty water. There'd be 2 separate sections, but with this it doesn't. It seems to keep it all together. So that's the beauty of masticating. Now for me it's too much hassle to undo the plug and take it all over to the wash basin. So I like to dismantle it where it is on the work decks. So we just take the top off, and then we just have to slightly shiggle the blade, and then it all comes free. Now I find if you wash it directly after you've used it, it's a lot quicker and easier to do. Because if you let it go dry, then it's quite hard to get the bits off. But see, all I'm doing is I'm just running the water under this top bit, and then we'll move on to the main gubbins of the machine. So I've got the safety guard in thing to stop all the bits from going down, because I want to put them in the compost. So I'm just going to run water, get the blade out. Nothing dangerous on the blade. I like to turn it just upside down, give that a bit of a rinse as well. And there you go. That is already done. We'll pop that to one side. This bit here, I like to open the side to let it all run out. And this is where you will be needing your toothbrush that came with it, because if you look inside, if you just press down on this section, then the water comes out of this side little piece here, and that can get a bit clogged. You just press that for a bit, run a bit of water through it, close that up again, give it another rinse. See, you can see the underneath of it, that it's all nice and clean. And that's that bit done. Pop that to one side. Once you've done it a few times, it gets quite quick and easy. Obviously today's been a bit slower for me because I'm holding the camera. Just run the toothbrush around with the water. I suppose you could put this into the dishwasher, but I might want to use this again this evening. And again, go around the outside like that. Give it a quick scrub. And there you go. So to put it back together, it's quite simple. On the side, you have a arrow, and then everything else has a red dot. So as long as the red dots all line up with each other, then everything works out fine. There you go. That's all now ready for another day. I will take this and just throw it on the compost heap. So since that last video, I've slightly changed what I'm doing. I'm having a physical breakfast and a dinner, and then during the day I'm on these juices. And what they say is it is better to stick to 80% vegetables and fruit rather than just fruit, because then you're getting the sugar and we get into all that debate. So 80% vegetables and then the rest with fruit. Beautiful. It does take a bit of getting used to begin with. See, I can taste the tiny bits of carrot as well. So it's not just all juice.
that'll get me fired up and get me down the old allotment to do a bit of digging, put in my potatoes. A slight issue this month though, as you know I'm self-employed, and last month a client hasn't paid and it's sort of affected me this month, so I can't get down to the allotment as much as I would like to, but hopefully, you know, it is a busy period, but as long as I can get there by the last week in April, then I think what I'll do is I'll have a day where I just bash through a load of tasks, because there's asparagus to go in, potatoes to be planted, seeds to be sown, and our last frost is not until second week in May, even though this year it does feel as if frost has gone. But let's not fall into that false sense of security. I still think we're going to get frost. So as long as I'm there by the second week in May, everything should be fine. Who knows? Drinking some of this gorgeous juice, I might be running there. Although with my knees, I don't think I will be. So just a quick little video. If you'd like to see more like these, tell me in the comments below. And thank you for all your advice and encouragement on the last one. Right, I'm going to finish this and probably have a cup of tea as well. And I'll catch up with you next time. So from me until then, bye for now.